Because I had to set up some, like, special cameras for, you know, the Lemonade stream. Yeah. I had to set up some, like, special cameras. Wow. There's gonna be... my Twitch stream was unmuted for a second, so I was hearing myself. Whoa. I'm very loud, though, which is good, because I always hate a quiet Twitch stream. Despite how often I make a quiet Twitch stream.
I did my timing wrong, and I cannot make soup now.
Yes, we are streaming.
I made ads in the channels, except, you know, I didn't act, because that would be just mean.
You can unless something else goes on.
Nah, they got Yu-Gi-Oh going on. So.
Okay, yeah, that would be mean.
I am gonna go get myself my drink, though.
We're back with more Great Ace Attorney. I think this case takes place at a World's Fair, which is very exciting. Come watch us. Come watch live, because come watch us live looks like come watch us live. Come.
Is that not what we're doing?
Are you not entertained by idiot stink fart?
Idiot stink fart.
Stinko Jim. The ancient items, Stinko Jim, the lance, Lord Remington's chalice.
An idiot stink fart.
The like wielder of both.
Oh, that works too.
Alright. Continue. Yes. Well, wait. Civ got up for something, right?
Yeah, I mean, this also gives us a chance. Chat, how's our volume right now for various people and things like that? Just because there was a setup change. Always good to double check.
This case will be long. Yeah, I know. I saw the strategy wiki. It's enormous. I suspect this is probably going to take around 6 different sittings.
No way, really?
It looks huge. It looks like 3 cases long in terms of different shit.
Well, writers, I encourage you to write well.
Might be a bit loud. That's fine then.
Yep.
Too loud is better than too soft. Oh, that's why I'm loud. It's because I was just recording something. Cool.
Oh, that's why I'm loud. Pulls mic out of mouth. There. That should be better.
This is the beginning of the end of the game. Yeah, I'm hoping this is kind of... I mean, it would have to be this. I'm hoping this case is the bulk of the conspiracy, and then the final case is kind of just like a ribbon on top with, like, going after whoever the bad guy is. I hope it's not Evil Clockman, literally only for the reason of I think it would be funny if they designed a character like that and didn't make him the villain.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about Candleman.
Okay,
Clock
here.
Guy.
This is the World's Fair case.
Who that is.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And as probably obvious to chat, but please no spoilers.
Yeah, you spoil us, you get kicked.
Well, I don't know if we'll go that far.
No,
I would. No, ban anyone.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Kill him.
Exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has
You should
been
know
to
stream etiquette by now.
Wondrous new works of culture
Oh my God,
and
get off that
industry
roof,
from
you're
every
gonna die.
corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But
Fish!
as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case.
Earnestly, huh?
And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park,
Eiffel
Sholmes'
Tower
brilliant
too.
deductions, as clear and lofty as the crystal tower itself, brought the truth to light.
I think this might have been before the Eiffel Tower, if my defunct land history memory is correct.
We're here at the showground of the Great
Fucking
Exhibition,
love it.
which is absolutely
My
packed with
goodness.
people. The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
The world's first murder. Hang on, I just
The
realized
world's
that my
first woman.
give me just a second. No, okay. I thought it was capturing my cursor. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world.
He's a cauliflower.
Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car.
Look at
Ships
this
will
pip in the
sprout
background.
wings and take to the skies. And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Oh, he's dead. Buddy, you're about to die.
A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and sent to another location.
Ah, the
whereupon
Prestige.
His body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
Oh no.
Okay.
You're
Bye, Piff.
You kill Piff?
You kill Gentleman Piff.
Oh, look at him sad.
Oh.
The suavest man to ever die.
How much did you pay to... I'm going to get away with murder!
From now, this gentleman will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you!
Oh, bro.
This voice actor is my favorite in the game so far. It's like a Wind Waker character.
Fortnite and Coke. Not
no.
my birthday.
It's been a while.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, because the last case was a flashback, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Are you listening?
Oh, sorry. What was that, Iris?
What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning.
No, he's not for a couple more games chronologically.
I suppose that's correct.
Oh,
Stop
sorry.
showing me your Discord screen.
Sorry, I'm turning you up, and I forgot that this game is clickable through all other windows. My bad.
Oog.
But didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast?
No, not at all. No, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again?
Today's paper. It's full of news about the Great Exhibition again.
Ah, yes, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime.
You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley?
Sorry, still doing some volume adjustments.
Okay. Oh no!
Did you say something, Iris?
Yeah, when I'm watching a bad movie with her.
Oh gosh, you're even more down.
Whoa, whoa.
No! When did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo?
I live here.
I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together.
What? Why didn't you mention it before?
He's high off his ass.
I thought you might have known I was here. You know, because breakfast.
Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much that I didn't notice your presence.
After all of the drugs I take, my eyes are no longer functional, my good man. I simply detect by vibes. Thanks.
Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations.
What?
Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly, it can be deduced there for that.
Let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has. Ever since we first met, in fact.
Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose.
Thanks again. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now.
6 months?
Since I was forbidden from working in court. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned.
Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum.
We don't know why he's been banned yet, right?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Don't you agree, Hurley?
Did you say something, Iris?
Normally I don't agree whenever Chad is very, like, big Tumblr energy. It's like ADHD king, but, like, with this guy, yeah. Back to moping and back to oping.
It's because he was going to leak government secrets from the last case?
Oh, from case 5 of the first game.
I don't remember that being the conclusion at all. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? Seems even more down in the dumps than me.
I know! And the great exhibition has opened! You'd think he'd be excited. No, why don't we all go see it together?
I want to, of course I do! But I can't! Not for the time being.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? I'm a great detective after all!
So
Because!
So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from. Is that it?
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
I suppose I should try and find out what's going on. Goodbye. Oh, I can't leave. Maybe they'll give us a little recap here. Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery turned out to be one part of a far more. I can't read ever. Turned out to be. I'm wearing my glasses forward on my face because I have a little pimple on the bridge of my nose where my glasses sit, and it's very annoying. Turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involves the how dare you call me. Sorry, I actually do need to take this. Give me a second. And I need to mute. At least.
Yep. Hey, chat. How's it going?
Tell us about your week, chat. Tell us your favorite color.
Yeah. Audio is delayed. It is not Will's birthday.
No.
Tired teal.
Oh, these are wonderful colors.
A lot of blue. A lot of purple.
I see lots of purple. Yeah, this is a purple
Yeah.
chat. A blurple.
Oh, good. There's a yellow. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing lots of teal too. Good picks.
Chartreuse. Ooh.
Chartreuse, bold.
Ooh, what? Actually, I'm actually not familiar with that color.
It's like poop green.
No, it isn't. It's like a yellow green.
Chartreuse. Oh. That's an interesting color.
It's kind of like limey, like Gatorade, lemon
Yeah.
Gatorade.
I might be mistaken. It's kind of like an olive.
A little. He
Interesting.
forgot to mute.
Well, he forgot to
Mute
mute
on our
us. Hopefully, it is mute on actual chat end.
Okay.
That's the more important one. Almond.
Yes.
That's a fun color. Oh man. Well, I know
It's
you.
beautiful.
Yeah, I know Civ and I are yellow. What about you, Yam?
I like red.
That's a good choice. Red's definitely like my number 2.
I'm
Maybe
kind of
orange.
leaning more towards that like ghosty teal nowadays, though.
I specifically like it's a kind of red that's like edging on pink, but it's still very red. I call it cherry red.
Ah.
And I also like the edging on orange red.
Violet.
So we'll like ketchup and mustard. Amusingly, no, I don't.
I love mustard. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, if I ever get mustard on my burger, I'll give it to you.
Ew. How would you?
Yeah, what do you think
with
about the new Fire Emblem
mustard?
game that's been done for over a year? It has? That's funny. I don't know. I am not playing it because I don't like Three Houses.
Oh, is this the Heroes game?
Yeah, this is the new not
Yeah.
Heroes, the new Dynasty Warrior game.
Oh,
Welcome
sorry.
back.
I always refer to those as Heroes games,
The
Okay.
Warriors games,
but
isn't
that
it?
is confusing.
Make sure to unmute.
I did. I am, yeah. I'm dealing with the case of why insurance is annoying and where my fucking car is. Yes, British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time unforgivable mistake. You did not tie your shoes.
Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord. Okay, so yeah, it did happen between games. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
You haven't you, Reno?
I was gonna say, am I insane? I do not remember that. And I think it was the right call because it would have been a very weird bummer thing to end the game on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. Alright.
Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room, and the notes about Jones's old cases.
Brewing Iris's special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the Silverware next, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, I didn't see what that said because I double tapped it. Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider, specifically Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court on Whitehill.
Lord Strongheart?
Ah, the delightful Lord Chief of Justice. Not my favorite fellow.
He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant me permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could, and I can't do that just sitting around here. But I want to go on the Ferris wheel that may or may not have been invented yet. The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it?
The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things and the world will be watching.
Oh, do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons.
Oh.
Look down on... do you mean those things fly?
Yes, of course. They
Not
fly
when I
high
shoot
in the
them.
sky. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all. Are you afraid of heights?
That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge.
I suppose they might be.
Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong in the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I'd seen it, though. I'd love to see how bad some of these experiments really are.
You know what? That's hilarious, actually. Says the innocent 10-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
See here, every page of this paper carries some article or other about the Great Exhibition. The brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere.
Get over yourself.
What a loser. Shadows cast behind. Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? You're too dumb to understand. I'm going to take that as a hint to look at the pepper.
First test of matter transport device.
Doesn't work.
Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibits from around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. Shame about that industrial revolution we're in the middle of. We must all go to see it properly before too long.
Whoa!
What?
Oh, nothing here? Oh, okay, other than this rather
What?
gloomy-looking one, that is. Wait, what?
Lost cat!
Yo, what?
Yo, what? The Reaper attacked. That's Lord Van Zeeks. This must be what Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder?
Yo, he's got a sword?
Yo, he got a boyfriend?
Lost cat?
Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes?
You could say that, I suppose.
Nothing more to add? That's not like you. What sort of case is it? Okay.
Shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening.
1 second, you're acting very strangely, Hurley.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, usually. The more mysterious and complicated a case is, the better Hurley's mood.
Ah,
Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Did you move away from the mic, Civ?
I looked in the other direction, but my mic should follow me.
Iris, please! You mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation! Remember what I always say! Put yourselves in the shoes of the individual about whom you're making deductions!
You say that. Oh, you say that, do you? You! Mr. Sholmes!
Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene.
Me?
That was a deep sigh. It says in the pepper that Lord Van Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible.
You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact.
Yes. Prosecutor Baron von Zeeks.
Barrack!
Nope, I'm promoting him. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Whoever's in the dock. Hickory dickory dock. Even if the defendant is found not guilty. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short.
London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges.
I saw that as biting judges.
But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. You know, I'm sure it's something else, but to be totally frank with you, I would actually just love it if he really was just a dude who went around and murdered people after trials.
Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels.
So, do you mean Lord Van Zeeks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time.
He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down, although it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time.
I would merely slice the bullets in half.
Oh my goodness. Is he alright then? Is Lord Van Zeeks hurt?
My dear fellow, how on earth would I know?
Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zeeks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition.
Ah, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then.
No, I can't wait until tomorrow.
In that case, you shall have to inquire with somebody in the know.
But, oh, Lord Strongheart, perhaps?
Do not talk to me.
I'm dressed now!
He just spins in a
Hello.
circle.
Well, I must be leaving now.
Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah! You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow.
What?
You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you would be wasting your time.
The thought hadn't crossed my mind. But now I'm wondering where you're going.
Well then, see you later indeed.
I mean, he fades away. I can't possibly follow him. Yes, you see, they've invented this wonderful invention that decompresses you of your particles and sends them to another location. Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out of the door. What are you wearing?
What is
Am I wearing?
Yeah, Iris, that's very cute for the most part. You gotta get rid of those fucking baubles on the sides of the head.
I just wanted to be Minnie Mouse. What's so wrong with that?
You have no idea.
Oh, I suppose. All right then, Reno, let's get going.
Oh, Iris, what are you wearing?
I've got change to go to the Great Exhibition. You're going to take me.
What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Well, that sounds fun too. You're going to take me there then.
Did I mention that I'm the assailant with a gun who attacked Van Zeeks? All right, fine. Just lower that weapon, would you?
Of course. And after the Supreme Court, then we'll go to see the Great Exhibition.
Okay.
Kicking her feet.
Let's go this way.
They have a silly hat contest going on. Oh.
It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. Some things never change, like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. Doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there.
Oh, I love this place. I just find so many interesting books here.
Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago.
Idiot! Stupid idiot, you are fired!
I am stupid. I am idiot. I fire. Idiot stink fart.
When Susato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan. Probably you, Will.
Ah, I understand you wish to speak with me.
British him up. He is British, remember.
I will do my best.
Oh, Lord Strongheart. I trust you've been keeping well.
Been keeping time.
Let's see. Since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies.
Oh, no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space.
Good to know.
Good to know. That doesn't appear to bother him at all. Great. This man is scary. I hate his white contact lenses. Maelstrom. Oh, Maelstrom. Okay. Maelstrom.
Male wife Strongheart.
Male Strongheart, the Lord Chief of Justice of London, and my preferred gender. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense. Every time I see that spelling, it fucks me up for some reason. Practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status.
As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium.
Sounds like a great location for the final case. Oh, I've not heard about that.
Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from our own land. From your own land, mind you.
That's probably going to be the excuse for Mikotoba to come back.
Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it.
Like, I so desperately want this man not to be evil because it makes all of this way funnier.
It would be great. I'm not holding my breath.
He's just a floor member.
I don't want to spoil it because I really like this game. There is one other Ace Attorney character who shows up in multiple cases and has this guy's energy and is even more openly antagonistic and has big final boss vibes, and then he dies and is the victim in the last case.
As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do, and it is my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it.
Well, it's nice to know where I stand.
So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about.
Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind as it happens.
Bruno, just take a deep breath and come out with it.
What is that thing?
Hello!
A bounce thing?
Bounce, 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 bounce.
Incredible.
I actually came here today to ask for your permission.
Go on.
6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system, and I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again.
Nope.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes? Oh, here it comes.
I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role.
Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. It should have been Kazuma. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his calling. God, that case was so dumb. If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office right now. I'm more and more hoping that Siv's, like, crack theory he's alive and it's all, like, part of the conspiracy is true, because it really would retroactively save the second case in the first game for me.
Yeah.
Mr. Asagi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him, and I have to fulfill it as well.
His calling, you say. Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling?
He was an assassin!
Sorry?
The mission with which that young law student was charged, what do you suppose it really was?
What do you mean? Mission? It's not making any sense.
Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions.
Do you mean...
You can go to the fair.
Oh, great.
As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain.
It's very nice of you, thank you.
I'm like, thank you, Father! Wow!
Ebenezer!
He has permitted me to go back into the courted room and have myself a lollied pop and watch the sailed boats!
Ebenezer! Father wants you home for Christmas. He's such a changed man. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful news, Bruno!
I'm such a fan of characters who are just like overtly evil vibes. It's just like, you've been a good boy. You are rewarded.
However, if you wish to have this license, I demand to see at least one cartwheel. Succeed, and it's yours.
All right. Okay, get ready. I'll start stretching.
I love that Iris does it. Good enough. Well, welcome back.
Welcome back. Shakes Iris's hand. Congratulations, Runarada,
Mr.
or whatever your
Naruhodo.
name is.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. Curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope.
Of course. Please tell me more. No. Good luck.
My own death gets teleported.
I don't have much time. Why do you think I'm always checking?
Myself from the future came back to warn me.
I'm doing the best run for any presenting life right now under very specific conditions. You described it as a curious affair?
Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday?
Oh, no.
Yes, I read about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment.
Oh, he was German, was he?
Sure didn't sound like it.
Let me see, how was it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think.
Instantaneous kinesis, as in moving things with a click of the fingers?
That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. A touch of devil-may-care.
Whatever this serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris's imagination.
It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public
7 people
experimentation
died.
stage, and a man lost his life.
It's an unfortunate business. Much like my mom and pop pizzeria chain no one seems to be interested in. I'll let you be a lawyer if you invest in me. Please.
A certain Mr. Odie Asman, an investor and a well-known figure in society.
What's the
Seriously?
pun? What's the pun
It's
on
odious man.
Odious
man.
A large explosion.
A man died?
That's my dog, Odie.
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Hairbrain.
Ah.
Good names. He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow on the charge of murder.
What? Murder?
If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. There is very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation.
The Great Exhibition. A scientific experiment gone wrong and murder. I feel out of my depth before I've even started. Still, I mean, you've dealt with this a couple times before.
We should go to the prison straight away then and try to meet with this German professor, don't you think?
Definitely. It's very nice of Iris to be understanding and be like, okay, we can't go to the fair, you have a job.
I do not wish to go to the fair. I may be discombobulated there.
Someone in chat, wouldn't it be manslaughter? Oh, you sweet summer child, as if any Ace Attorney game knows the difference between murder and manslaughter. I legitimately am not sure if that's a thing Japan has, solely because Shu Takumi is obsessed with writing cases about how manslaughter is the same crime as murder. He's done it like 6 times.
Yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper.
Oh, Lord Van Zeeks. How?
Oh, yes. All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them all will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium, also known as IFS.
It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Yes! Give me a hug!
The pigeons got caught in the gears again.
No!
London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible.
Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it?
Exactly! The future of policing.
It'd be so great if he was just like, I'm so enthusiastic about justice systems being improved. I just want everyone to be happy and safe.
I guess you could
Public
say
infrastructure!
Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods.
Oh dear, that's alarming.
Exactly! It's extremely alarming! I like this guy a lot, actually.
Yeah.
If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure.
Uh-oh.
The numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures.
Oh, if only I were in a position of power. I shall have to start a grassroots movement!
And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim.
Sorry?
By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now.
What?
Oh, how fascinating.
It all began 50
years ago!
15 years ago?
High-pitched ear-ringing sound effects.
And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter, in the simplest of terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission.
It's entirely a reasonable and good thing to do. Oh, right, yes. That's wonderful.
Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it will be. Aw.
Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now.
Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful?
I can't believe I'm still reading!
I actually drifted off for the most part. Surprisingly ardent about forensic science. Alright, I'm gonna... Oh, right, you have to back out to do that. I'm gonna try showing him the newspaper and then we'll go.
Sure.
No, I didn't move away from the mic. I just kind of faded away.
Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this?
The reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition? Of course.
No, not that. The story on the back page.
What story? The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Oh.
Oh, Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
No. He didn't realize the sun was up yet.
Oh, common mistake.
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zeeks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you.
Gets shot directly through the brain with a bullet. His head rotates around like an owl. You'll try a wooden stake next time, idiot. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know.
Very well. If it interests you.
It all began 15 years ago. It does, strangely. I'm kind of surprised that actually got me something.
Fortunately, Lord Van Zeeks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter.
But that's incredible. They were armed with guns.
And he was armed with bats.
Yeah, that's true. Why was he... he does turn into bats sometimes. That's not what I meant.
Oh, no.
It's just Roronoa Zorroing, but with 3 fucking bats in his hands and mouth.
Fucking Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, but it's just a metal bat. It spins around. Tung!
Christ.
Why was he attacked, though? Do we know?
It's related to events that occurred a month ago.
He got a bad haircut.
A leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zeeks. But the man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes.
Large sums of money?
Dollary dues.
Oh, dollary dues, thank you.
Yes, a deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems.
Dollary dues. Oh, sorry, on this side of the pond, shilleringery dues.
However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday.
But you're not suggesting it was the work of the Reaper, surely?
No, of course not. It was a bat. The victim's henchman certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Asman, Mr. Odie Asman.
Did you say Asman? Ain't that the lion in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
The Lion King!
Oh!
Will I...
Go ahead!
Will, I feel like you and I could... fucking John Mulaney and... I don't know, John Mulaney too. I always forget his name. It's the guy who made Big Mouth. do this like show on Broadway where they like dress up as two old people and just like improvise them talking about fucking nothing. And sometimes I feel like you and I could do just an awful show with that sort of energy. Like, ain't that the Lion King? Just back and forth, ping-ponging fucking garbage.
I think we'd have a lot of fun.
I think we would have fun. End sentence.
That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition.
Yes, known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization.
Oh, Piff. Unbelievable.
Oh, Piff. Yes. I wonder.
No, I wonder. Could I ask you something, Lord Strongheart?
Oh, no, you
Try
go first.
me.
Oh, no, you go first.
Why do you use Lord Van Zeek's prosecutor? I don't know, he's pretty good at his job.
He's good at his job.
All the criminals who manage to get off in court, then meet with mysterious ends outside the courtroom, and fearful of that. This is like not scanning at my.
Van Zeeks is quite good at helping people get off. You should be aware of this by now.
Yes. I needed to do something the past 6 months.
I'm reading another book! I love colouring in the dictionaries.
Every single A and O and Q, I need to fill them in.
But not the B's or the P's or the G's.
I'm racist against those. That's
Good.
why they say mind your P's and Q's.
And fearful of that, my iris is really bad. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zeek's first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still, something's clearly going on here.
Yes, no, he murders people. Through and through.
I have Van Zeeks work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him.
But that doesn't make sense. How can you explain the ways so many have died, if not by someone's hand?
Van Zeeks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he's no killer, so he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course.
I really like Strongheart. He's just like, I don't know, he's good at his job. What do you want?
And then criminals die. Like, what am I gonna bitch about?
Yeah.
Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm getting married for the 13th time.
Oh, no.
Yes. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget.
You know what they say, if the professor is 11 hours and 16 minutes late, you're allowed to leave class.
It's true.
11 hours late. That's quite something.
That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you.
He was here for 11 hours telling you that story.
So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man.
I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and
Oh
223
my god,
reasons.
no fucking way.
Oh, yes. Where would I find Lord Van Zeeks now?
I would assume he's at his office. Oh my god, do we get to see his office?
Wouldn't it be amazing if it looked
Gamer chair.
if it looks just like Iris's room, like it's all pink and frilly?
What are you doing here? Get out! I'm a monster!
You get there and it's like mummy themed, like ancient Egypt, and there's sarcophagi. He's like, no, my secret, I'm a mummy. Horge comes out. I knew it. All right, I'll go and ask him about the attack in prison. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. No, he's a bat.
Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Hairbrain's defense entirely in your hands.
Of
Iris
course.
jumps up and high fives him.
You pass.
You are both.
Turns into pocket watches and flies away.
Like,
Back and forth.
they move through the air like clams underwater.
Yeah, I was just thinking like clams.
Of course.
They're
yes.
all perfectly synchronized.
Thank you very much, my lord. Boy, we really know how to elongate any conversation. Personally, well, this has an exclamation point. I think it would be smarter to go to the prison first, but what are you gonna do?
Wow.
Yes! Oh, I love this already!
Bro, look at his wall!
The fucking painting.
Oh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office.
These are my D&D miniatures for my campaign. I play a little blue Bobby.
Yes, it appears so.
Ugh, it sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deadly atmosphere.
Oh, is that? That hooded figure was so still, I hadn't noticed his or her presence. Wonder who it is.
There's millions of casks of wine.
Holy
Right.
Amontillado.
What are you doing here?
Why you in my womb?
He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe on more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well.
I am.
So, who's the person over by the wall being punished? Oh, yeah, okay, no, I read that right. Who's the person over by the wall being punished for something or other?
No punishment is taking place here.
Oh.
That's my apprentice, and he's sitting there of his own free will.
Apprentice!
Could be Kazuma. I didn't know you had an apprentice. Oh, that's me. Must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. Sorry, I was looking to see if this matched Kazuma's profile.
Maybe.
I want to bet on. I want to agree with Sib's prediction from the first game.
He's very able in combat, a requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage.
Are you referring? Also, no spoilers in chat, by the way.
Yes,
I
no
haven't
spoilers.
seen if there's any, but just a reminder. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers? On the Reaper, you're the Reaper.
The Reaper. I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming, that is, such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms.
I don't know why people keep telling these rumors about me.
God,
It hurts my feelings.
He's very hot.
He's very attractive fella.
He's scary.
Lord, he looks like a Legend of the Galactic Heroes character.
Pauldrons.
Lord,
It's the fucking Rose of Versailles pauldrons.
Lord Strongheart said that the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack.
True, carried out by henchmen of Odiasman's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably some hope to kill me before that happened.
Odi Asman.
He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor.
Fantastic comment in chat. I wish to see the Reaper, as I can't see myself in the mirror.
Oh, buddy.
But his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means, via his criminal activities.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances, it was a most unusual cause of death.
I know about that.
He fucking blew up. It was nuts.
It was super high voltage, instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Asman died when the demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion. I always like, when there's like long chain words, like public experimentation stage, I always assume I read the first half of a sentence wrong. But
Super fair.
Correct.
good job.
Here is your free cork bottle.
Just like gives him a cork from a wine bottle.
And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you?
Well, no, that does seem a little far-fetched. If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death, at least.
It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Luno? I mean, what with you taking on the Professor's defense for the trial tomorrow...
Shh, Iris.
Oh,
What? You're going to be defending him?
Oh, yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest.
Albert Hairbrain.
That's right. Do you know him by chance?
Of course.
He invented me.
He's
Where come from? We call that your father.
No.
Looks at Had.
father. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together. He majored in Victor
What?
Frankenstein. I majored in Dracula.
I'd understood that Professor Hairbrain was from Germany, though.
Hairbrain's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research. That's all.
I'm choosing to ignore that so that I can give him a German accent anyway.
Reasonable.
So you were students together?
I was in the Faculty of Law, of course, and he in science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since my university days. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form.
I like how kind Van Zeeks is being to us being
he's just
here.
like, yeah, I'll be straight to you about this.
It's any...
Ah! No, don't grab me! Ah!
He's just holding up Iris. Do I even weigh anything to you?
No, it's like holding up a couple of grapes.
You just fucking...
And grapes that can be crushed into wine.
No, don't smush me!
That sounds like wine to me! And with you, of all people, representing him.
If only if I make it out of this office alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems.
Yes, I know. Because the prosecution will be handled by me.
By you!
Does that really surprise you at this point? There's only 2 lawyers in this country.
But you made it sound as if you and the professor had been friends.
Yes, and I want him dead.
Well, luckily, there's no such thing as a... Fuck, I'm totally...
What's the phrase? Like, you can't be on a jury if you know one of the defendants.
Contempt.
No.
Hakuna Matata.
Conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest.
There you go.
And I have no interest.
Oops, sorry.
Something. Yabba.
Then
We are
why-
friends, it's true.
Then why would you do this?
If the Reaper is the persecutor, then there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed!
Saseki made it out.
Oh.
What is Lord Van Zeek's thinking? I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my death.
What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean...
I'm a crown prosecutor and a mortal like any other. I'm no demigod.
I don't believe you. But they've all died, haven't they? The people you've prosecuted, I mean.
What about Saseki?
Whether... Oh...
He was dead on the inside.
Yes, actually, that was the joke I was going to make.
Sorry.
Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who without question deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them.
Me if I were like 30% more unhinged. But that's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all, just a poor wretch.
No, Miss Ginny. In fact, she's ever so hard-working now.
Hang on. Hi. So there's a drawing of Van Zeeks with his shirt partially open, and I need people to look at it. Oh my god! Oh, enormous Civ character.
Oh,
No way! No way! I'm fed on this day. Incredible.
God.
I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work.
Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way.
But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially.
Oh!
It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives.
Do you mean to say...
I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly and with honor.
But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed.
People are killing in my name. It's kind of rad.
If that is my fate, let God decide.
Look at this melodramatic bitch.
Roll.
Lord Van Zeeks. You know, I don't think... it's not that I want this to happen, but it would be very interesting if he was killed as the victim in the last case, just because I don't think they've ever killed off a prosecutor before.
God, I hope not.
I really like him. I don't want that to happen, but I think it would be interesting.
It would be interesting, but not welcome.
Folks have suggested to examine the room because apparently there's a lot of dumb shit in here.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, time to look around your house. Okay, let's take a look.
What kind of music does he like?
How dare you? How dare you make me do this? Lord Van Zeek's desk. Look, it's so stylish. And there's nothing next to it. Nothing next to it. Nothing next to it. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Oh, this is where they keep the grown-up juice.
Look at that fine collection of hallowed chalices and bottles lined neatly up there.
My hallowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit. And I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world.
And yet you throw them around in court like they were worthless.
Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wide of the mark sometimes.
Damn, you're just gonna blame it on you, huh?
Oh!
Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile.
So it's my fault. Silly me, how could I have ever thought otherwise?
Zeeks, you suck. Maybe the sword? Nope, not the swords.
Oh, it's a miniature version of the laser cannon.
Oh, look! It's a scale model of the Great Exhibition Showground.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
I wonder why it's here.
Fun. Oh, he's dead! Perhaps mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person.
I misread that as perhaps he's made it because he's a sad person. Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket.
Surely it's obvious that I'm using it as an investigative aid. You Nibelungs have no business painting others as overly reserved.
Ugh, really didn't think you'd overhear that. Well, then you should stop whispering your thoughts out loud.
I have echolocation.
That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it?
Oh my god.
Oh my.
It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Van Zeeks' facial features. I think?
Hashtag knows things.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think.
That reminds me. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him.
I am right here and crying.
How vain. That's really not an attractive quality in a person, is it?
That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious.
We are just walking around this man's room and roasting him with him right behind us. Oh, then who is it? Really quick. I want to look at this again. It might be... no, I guess the eyes aren't the right color. I thought it might be Strongheart, actually, for a second, with, like, a different haircut.
It does kind of look like Strongheart. That's what I was thinking.
Y'all are mean to me.
Would be very weird for him to keep a big portrait of Strongheart.
Yes!
Ah! They were bats!
Yes! The Reaper's familiars, I expect!
What about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar. It's just not the flying kind.
He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper, then.
I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary, though, either way.
Fucking bats, you freak ass!
I cannot believe you startled Bertwald.
Someone in chat,
That is my son, Horge.
really looks like a punishment to me.
I've never seen someone sitting like that before.
He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Do you think perhaps he's dead?
If he was dead, Runo, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he?
Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's going to talk to us.
He's not dead. Hello, poke, poke. Kick, kick. Punch, punch.
Strangle, strangle! Look at all
Wiggle,
of the,
wiggle.
Look at all of those ancient casks lining the wall there.
Casks in the Reaper's chamber? Or are they caskets?
You don't think all those people who escaped conviction in court are lying inside them dead, do you?
What ridiculous notions are you going through your head, man? This is my collection of fine vintages.
Oh, yes, of course.
I
Thank you for clearing that up.
love to imagine him like kick rolling a cask into the courtroom with him as he goes, just booting it along.
Runo and I were just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper.
I wouldn't if you hadn't invited yourselves to my office to talk nonsense within my earshot.
Oh, this fucking guy.
Man, I know it'll never happen. I would kill for one case where you have to team up with Van Zeeks and walk around and get both of them to talk to each other about clues.
So
I think there was more to click on the exhibit.
Oh, so in the 5th Ace Attorney game, there's kind of a similar prosecutor named Simon Blackwell, who's like a years-long convict who has a ball and chain around him. And in the 5th game, there is a case where you as Athena Sykes play with him as your assistant, and he's fucking incredible. So they have done that once, and it was great. It's always great when you get a different character as your walk-around assistant. I think that's about everything.
Have you
Yeah, I think you got it.
Balloon?
I don't think the balloon registered for anything.
Let's go talk to our... Or, wait, hang on. This worked the first time. Lord Van Zeeks, about the article in this paper.
Ah, yes. It seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though.
Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them.
Oh, 35.
But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. And I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? Oh, sorry.
As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice.
Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor, so you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
You are like to Hurley. Oh, wait, hold on. Like you are to Hurley. That's okay. You know what I mean.
You got it at the end. I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with a great detective.
He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack.
It's absolutely Asugi, because why else would they put a Japanese-style bench there?
Oh, I'm Ryunosuke. It looks like he's wearing some kind of mask.
On Lord Strongheart's orders.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity.
But why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual?
Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be a good reason for his actions.
I hope you're right. God,
Besides,
this room smells overwhelmingly of boyfriend. Oh, it's definitely.
Totally Kazuma. Oh my god.
Man, I love fucking shit. What's his name? Fire Emblem Camus. He does this. It's fucking
Oh, when he becomes like serious or whatever.
Yeah, that's his name. See, yeah, fucking Char Aznable over here.
Yeah.
the task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs.
Those lips. I remember those lips. I love his evil mask. Nice to meet you.
Kazuma's like...
I wonder if he's got amnesia or something.
Yeah.
Back to
I
work
hope
again.
not.
That was really strange, though. I've never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed, and yet somehow... Alright, we get it. Maybe they're smart and this is a different kind of fake out. Like, they're trying to make us think it's Kazuma. Sometimes Ace Attorney is that clever? We'll see. Didn't feel like our first encounter.
It's Gregson.
Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it.
Oh, I see.
Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway?
Oh, no, I mean... Sorry, I didn't mean to... The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. It couldn't be. Okay, at least they're not playing around.
Get out of my office.
Please leave me alone.
Ah, yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Why are you still here?
Oh, what's that?
That's the door. Use it.
That Nipponese man, is he faring well?
Sorry?
The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago, with the stoop and the moustache and the jitters.
Oh, Mr. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that history.
He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day.
I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you spend it investigating the case.
Yes, thank you for the advice. And for the conversation. Can't believe he's asking after Soseki-san. After a Nipponese. Ooh, look at me, I'm a vampire. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried.
You are just mumbling and I have the ears of a bat.
I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist. Did you? That's a turn up for the books.
A mad scientist? Oh, you mean Professor Hairbrain. Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Van Zieks, I think. God,
I am still here!
I was just reminded, in Trolls World Tour, there's, like, a country village of trolls, and there's the bit that really fucking got me, where it was like, what are these fucking pop trolls doing in our country song place? And they sing a medley, it's just like, oh, now that's sad. They clearly don't know what good music is. And this guy with a mustache and a hat over his eyes goes, growly, growly, growly. Easy there, Sheriff Growls.
Chad is screaming at you to present the armband to him.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
What a fascinating donut.
Oh. I know you've seen this around my wrist before, but...
What is it exactly?
It's the mark of a defense lawyer. In Japan, at least.
And what's your reason for showing it to a British prosecutor?
God, I see.
Oh, well, I don't know, really.
I can understand, at least. There's merit to reminding yourself of who helped you become what you are today.
Oh.
But that's a personal matter, something you may want to keep close at all times, not something to flaunt.
No, I suppose not. Thank you for understanding, though.
Like my badge, it's like a funny cookie.
They just start making out.
The moment you leave, he runs over. Oh my god, Kazuma, that was so close. Oh my god. I am freaking out.
Alright, we're gonna put you in this clown wig. Does anyone have a big desire to play this guy?
Go ahead, Jello.
I've been the last couple defendants, which is why I offer.
I mean, I get Van Zeeks, so I'm quite content.
I am baby.
Okay. The warden said cell 11. That's this one.
There's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner. Look, it's like a little dust bunny.
What was his name again? Professor Albert Hairbrain, wasn't it? Excuse me, Professor Hairbrain.
Oh boy.
Who are you? I'm Rionosuke. No, a lawyer! He moves! Fucking Hotel Transylvania looking.
This looks like a Pokemon professor.
It does.
Was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration! That magnificent demonstration was... It was an out-and-out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one listens. No lawyer believes in the science. When it's explained, they all leave at high velocity.
Like I teleported them.
Now,
He's got a doinker.
now's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while, too. Oh, this is a new theme. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday.
I've got to work on my German. The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, the man died in the explosion, didn't he?
That's so funny, Sim. Don't worry, I speak a little German. Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure, but at the same time, it was a great success. You've lost me. I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Asman was spontaneously disassembled. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the crystal tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded, and
Wait, that's you.
Yeah, sorry, it's contagious. Oh my god. The machine exploded, and Mr. Asman, in fact, perished. Yes, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure. So what you're really saying is, the large explosion that killed Mr. Asman was an accident, correct?
But the bigwig said you arrested on suspicion of murder.
I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished at once. But murder? Never in a million years! It was an accident! Simply an accident! I see.
Hurley and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder.
How exactly?
Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody.
On what grounds? Ah, yes, it's newly established here in Britain. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. That one passed me by.
But if the case is treated as murder...
Oh, that's me again! Then they'll say my machine was a murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour over it as much as they like. And if they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it was made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That's why it's imperative this whole incident is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial. I see now. So in short, There was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Yes! Or rather, no, the devil listens the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion. Sounds the same to me.
You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating.
Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible using a sufficiently... So it must be possible using a sufficiently high voltage to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see. That's my amazing hypothesis. Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science. Do a little wiggle. Oh, but dare to imagine it. Dare to dream of such incredible technology. So in this case has blimps and teleporting. Hey Jello, remember the Stib Ace Attorney video where you made up a joke scenario about blimps and teleporting? God damn it. Just think, one moment I could be here in the cell and the next I could be at the Great Exhibition again. Well, yes, that would be incredible. And in the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at a great Parisian theater, say! The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach. So no more hiding in wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days. Fuck.
I don't really see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk.
My word! That's exactly right! Oh, convict me of murder! What are the implications? What does this mean?
I'm gonna BRB real quick.
Something.
I guess yam.
Sorry?
Can you take over, Iris?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me turn off my fan. Oh my god.
Yeah? You alright?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I tried to turn it off, but I turned it on max.
Oops, that's got Professor Bunnybrain really worried by the look of it.
Clearly this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. The point is my calculations are flawless, the science works, but without a practical demonstration it means nothing, and that's always the fly in the ointment.
Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have.
That's exactly it, yes.
Well, he's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science.
Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Asman. The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean. You know what'd be fun is if this guy was, like, faking his death, saw this as a good opportunity to set up a crazy Scooby-Doo fake teleportation death thing with the remnants of his gang, and is using this to somehow get revenge on the Reaper. And this guy's just in court. The Reaper's varsity years. I understand Lord Van Zieks is a friend of yours from your university days. Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science. What was he like back then? Good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, an all-around nice fellow, really. Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Barak Van Zieks. What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about a leading question, Runo.
As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the Van Zieks family, with all its great aristocratic origins.
I didn't realize he had quite such noble blood.
Little darling?
Oh goodness, what did I miss?
They just said that Beeks, Baron Barak Van Zieks is from...
You are mistaking me with my sister, Veronica Bands Beeks. She controls birds.
Zeeks is an aristocrat.
Yes, thank
well,
you.
Yeah, duh.
It was a bit of a shock. It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learnt what he'd become. The Weeper of the Bailey, no less. Yes, that's right. I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation. Really? That sort of thing never happens in Ace Attorney. What sort of event? I'm sorry. I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at time. I was in Germany already. Oh, does he have like a little bald spot?
No, I think it's just the shading.
Weird place to put shading.
There's actually an egg in there, and that's what you're
Ah!
seeing.
Oh, yes, of course. If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Zeeks will be the prosecutor in court tomorrow.
Bro, you gotta. Tell us about Piff.
The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. O.D. Asman, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man? He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. Oh, I thanked my lucky stars. I see. So you hadn't really known each other until then?
Money for scientific research. I'm so envious.
As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel. Oh, really? An archangel, even. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Asman provided me with money and an exceptional engineer who was evil. He produced a machine to my precise specification.
But then your dreams were blown to dust in one enormous explosion.
As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Asman. I would never, ever have thought of taking the man's life. Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying.
I think he's lying.
I am
Well,
lying.
that's enough for me.
Dudo!
So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying? You had no intent to harm the victim, who was, in fact, the sole investor in your work. Is that correct? As correct as 2 squared is 4. I swear it. And I square it, too. Yes, it's true that the man perished in a machine of my invention. So I know that I'm far from blameless in all this, but still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life. Not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science. It's all I know. You have to believe me. Please. Do an impression of the medic from Team Fortress 2. Oh, don't be such a baby. Ribs grow back. No, they don't. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Science is the pursuit of truth, you know. I've always believed that all my life. I'm afraid I don't know much about science or your theories, but I do believe you. And I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. It's all I know. You have to believe... Oh, now I can do this better. I'm a man of the law. It's all I know. You have to believe me. Please. When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything. Thank you for that, Professor. And I thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court.
I'm Iris. Oh, sorry, I clicked off by accident somehow. All right, now, it's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition.
Sorry?
Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Didn't see that.
Going to the fair, going to the fair.
Let's see if we can go 3 for 3. Oh yeah, there's unique dialogue. Oh, how could this have happened? You must feel awful. As well as a man losing his life, the Crystal Tower was greatly damaged too. I know what happened. It must have been that. That? The day before the demonstration, I had my usual meal of frankfurters in the hotel restaurant. When I paid the bills, they gave me 3 shillings too much in change. But instead of saying anything, I just slipped the coins into my pocket. They're still there now. It's divine retribution for my wrongdoing. That's what this is! For a scientist, he has some very illogical anecdotes. Long and illogical. Guilty. Exciting.
Whoa!
showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I felt myself swooning 3 times. Jello
A
girl.
leprechaun has lost his clothing on the ground. There are a lot of people, aren't there? I've almost been trodden on 3 times, too.
Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand.
Okay.
We finally made it through the throngs, though, by the look of it. Here we are, underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday.
Whoa.
They fire him like a fucking cannonball.
What's that? I can hear voices from up on the stage. Sounds like an argument. Let's teleport. Oh, hey.
Oh my god, it is rah 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 rah.
Right, I've had it with you. Wait, I've had it with you this time. I'm warning you. I'll arrest you in a minute.
You can
Oh, yeah, go on then, Spectre. Give it a shot. You ain't no evidence and you know it.
Wait, I know those voices.
You've got a cheeky little mouth on you, young lady, but a night in the cells will teach you some manners.
Just try it, I dare you. If you want a bag of chips rammed down your throat.
That sounds
Hey, like
great.
Yoo-hoo! Grexy, what are you doing up there?
It's you! Here! Oh, your ladyship!
For the record, that was an auto-scroll.
Oh, yeah, no worries. How are you, your ladyship? I do hope you're well, your ladyship.
Does that make her 3 times a lady? Shut up, Bruno.
I'm not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue.
Unbelievable! I'll go and have a word with them at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you.
Here, have some cocaine.
Oh, lovely.
Why are we introducing him? Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, and for that reason he can't say a wrong word to the story's author Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be.
Watch it, sunshine!
Sorry. I should stop thinking around people.
What gives then? Don't tell me you're on this case.
Yes, I'm acting for the defense.
I've been notified that we should check around here before we go up there, or else we'll have to do a bunch of fucking around to get back here. So we're here to investigate.
Dear me, that's the situation, is it?
Is it really that troubling? Probably.
Measly 5 bob. Is that all you got? You're a lawyer, ain't you? You could stand to carry a bit more copper around your pockets, Mr. Naruto.
What? Hey, that's my last bit of spending money, that is.
It's mine now. You can have it back. We'll have to charge you for all the bother. 3 bob.
You're the worst. This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket or diver born and bred in the East End of London. In the case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago, this is the young girl I was defending in court. Probably could have taken the L on that one, honestly.
What's your problem then, Odo? Diver, pickpocket. What's with all the name calling? You want a bag of chips round at your throat and all, do ya?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I don't know why I'm getting more proper than normal. I assumed you'd been up to your usual tricks here at the showground.
Ain't no way to talk to a lady, Odo. And for years, a long time, people can change. I'm an apprentice now. Not like that, though. Like, I'm not doing vampire shit. That's not my deal. Learning to be Scotland Yard detective, I is. The worst kind of person. So you'll have to call me what everyone else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now.
I learned that actually you're allowed to be a criminal so long as you're wearing the right clothes. So I decided to become a police officer. I did.
Yeah.
Inspector.
Fair enough, Gina.
That badge is homemade, surely.
The inspector part isn't entirely accurate. No one calls her that. For what it's worth, anyway, investigating is off the cards for all of us.
What's that supposed to mean?
Right, well, I'll be back up top. You want the fort down here, yeah?
Right, sir. Yam, do you want to be Gina?
It's okay. I don't mind watching.
This raises a lot of questions. But we're not going. We're just gonna look around first.
All right.
Whoa.
Crystal Tower. Certainly an apt name. It was built to be the focal point of the exhibition, and it definitely is, being so tall and with all that glass. Can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan. That's funny. Oh, sorry.
There are lots of exhibits
Wubba lubba
inside
dubba,
the
that
tower.
true.
That's true.
There's stuff in there too, but
Wubba lubba dubba, that's a
Of
true.
course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. But I heard you had to queue for 3 hours just to get through the doors.
Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw.
And thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut.
Suddenly, it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower. No good one, Naruhodo. Up top! Everyone leaves him hanging.
Everyone's taking to the skies now to look down on the disaster area from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up in a balloon now.
This is why I hate theme parks. Londoners must be very patient people. What the hell is this?
Apart from the tower, it looks like.
It looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just here.
Dropped or hid? What is this? Some part
Is
of
that
the
a
machine that
crossbow?
exploded. Oh, it does look like one, yeah.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
is.
bro.
Yeah, it probably folds out.
Strongheart's crossbow.
That is absolutely Strongheart's crossbow.
It could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps.
What's going on here?
Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. Okay.
Don't
This
point
is
it,
a
don't-
crossbow.
That's a fucking crossbow.
Yep.
It's a cool crossbow. I can't find anything out of place. Naruhodo.
Oh, there's like a trigger on the back of it, near the top there.
There it is. Ah, some sort of lever here.
Fucking careful.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yo, that's
the-
fucking rad.
It's pretty similar to how Rook's violin works. What is this? It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun.
Bro.
Ooh.
I think it's probably used for the same thing too.
Iris has nothing to say about this object.
Oh,
I am
ringing
just
trigger.
very impressed by the machinery.
Looks like you wind this around in order to draw the bowstring back and create tension. Must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of force using this device then. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than a Japanese longbow. Ugh, really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this at the exhibition grounds. Okay. Fun, alright. If Strongheart is a villain, I think it would be very funny to, like, use early fingerprinting and, like, forensics technology to get him convicted. And he's just like,
yeah.
yes, convict me.
Exactly! I did it!
I'll prove what I want.
Hang on, I've got a fucking splinter! Ah!
Where'd you get a splinter?
Oh, it was trimming rose bushes. It's a thorn. I'll deal with it later.
Oh, look, what's this? A piece of ripped cloth.
It's not like any fabric I've ever seen before. Part of a ghillie suit. It's very thick and stiff. Looks extremely durable.
It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well.
Someone, yes, at this time of ascension, it is not enough. Maybe that means it has something to do with the explosion.
Let's make a note of it while Ginny's mid-yawn.
Yo, you suck, Ginny. For some reason, the ground is damaged in this spot. Look, it's almost as if there was a fire here or something.
Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burnt embers too.
Well, I suppose there was a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this would have... What? At a small fire like this would have been...
But,
People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid.
Bat an eyelid
At a small fire like this would have been.
Oh, like this would have been. Okay,
Oh,
no,
like-
I
Okay, alright.
yeah, it's one of those sentences where you got to emphasize on a very specific word for it to make sense.
I'm not sure we English are quite that laid back, Bruno.
Okay.
Bushes.
Can you zoom up a bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Balloons!
God, they're so flat.
That's where Cove ended up after his instinct kinesis, or whatever they call it. That, of course.
And yet they're calling the experiment a success.
What's the wooden scaffold there for?
Corpus, our lad, set it up after the incident happened. To get the body down, I think. Don't know, really.
Didn't you help to erect the scaffold, then?
No, lookout duty's more my thing. Wandering around the exhibition, keeping a lookout for the fun stuff.
Mind Gregson doesn't hear you saying that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible, though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis?
What if the crossbow was a fucking hookshot and they yoinked him back through it?
Oh man, I hate the 5th case of Ace Attorney investigations.
A balloon.
Balloon.
I've been meaning to ask you for a while now, but what are those funny round blobs floating in the sky?
Oh, they're the flying balloons I've been talking about. I want to go up in one so much.
I've read about situations like this in a magazine, about strange phenomena. Creatures from outer space coming in round flying objects to attack Earth.
What?
I suppose inhabitants of other planets are bound to be interested in the Great Exhibition. This is it, Iris. It's happening!
The peepers!
It's not. Don't worry. I'll explain it all to you later over a nice cup of tea, Runa.
You're so patient, Iris.
Iris has to be exhausted from being the only adult in a 5-mile radius of her house.
Wow.
This platform must have been set up for the experiment, I suppose. It's very high up.
About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. It's what a policeman I spoke to just said.
Right here, Iris. I don't really understand feet very well. We don't use them in Japan.
Oh, yes, sorry. It's about 9 meters. But soon you'll have been in London a year, Runa. It's time you got used to our measurements.
Yes, well, this thing is so tall, the spectators at the front would just have seen the wall and nothing else.
They probably thought they'd secured the best spot to watch from, only to be disappointed.
There's a saying in Japan, the darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. I feel like it probably applies here. These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. Do they even use feet in Britain? I don't think so.
No, probably no. They don't.
They don't now. I think they used to.
Oh.
So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up?
Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion, and I've seen my fair share.
You've seen things like this before, you mean?
Of course. Hurley's always doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
Ah, that might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs. How have you lived here 6 months and not noticed?
One time he made something that exploded with such force it took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been there to see it, Bruno.
Cute little face.
Little freak.
It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate.
What is this thing? Ah, look, Inspector
Yeah,
Gregson
bounce
is over
thing.
there. Seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing up the machine carefully.
Really? He just looks confused to me.
I wonder if I could break it with my mind.
Love
If
this.
anyone could, it's you.
Love this microphone.
Mhm.
Ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it?
Magnificently and mercilessly.
So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air.
Yes, beamed, not blasted. That's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. Is something like that even possible, though, Iris?
Oh, Bruno, I'm just a child. How should I know?
A child when it suits you, you mean, you little stinker.
I can tell, but you
Stop! Don't touch that!
That's That was practically instantaneous kinesis the way you flew over just now, Grixie.
Please, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here.
Oh, so sorry. You can have some of my latest special blend to make up for it.
I was wondering when this would come into play, since it was like, here's a piece of evidence, and it popped up in the last game, and then we never got it, and I was like, that's weird.
Oh my god, did somebody shoot him from the Ferris wheel?
I don't think so.
Ah, wonderful. This stuff really is wonderful.
His little sparkles in his eyes.
It's just like old times, this is. He vanished.
Goodbye.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay. We're representing Professor Hairbrain in court tomorrow, Inspector, so we should be allowed to examine the scene.
Ha! Listen, Sunshine, even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. It's the blasted special
Dispensation. Yeah.
Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act to blame. It's driving me potty.
What? Oh, yes, that special dispensation. The professor mentioned that too.
More red tape's all we need. I don't know what the government thinks it's playing at sometimes.
But we're allowed to just look, aren't we? Surely that's all right, isn't it, Grixie?
Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. But please, don't get your dainty hands dirty, will you?
If you need to look at something, I'll hold it and rotate it for you in 3-dimensional space.
Using more telekinesis. Ah!
Using my instant kinesis.
Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Bruno?
She really knows how to get what she wants. Girl boss. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body and then beam him across to the Crystal Tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public.
True. It was by far the most unusual of the experiments planned for the exhibition, mind.
To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I assume.
The government's doing everything it can to promote new science and technology at the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than the odd spot of public safety infringements. If they can be the first to develop some new technology, makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see.
Yes, I suppose that's true, in a way.
So the powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment.
1 second, what sort of rights?
They're making it so that
Iris
any
is just
theory...
in the middle of the machine, touching everything.
They're making it so that any theories the brains have remained their legal property, as it were. Right through developing it into a practical idea and even going into production. Which is the infuriating reason us coppers aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because the new highfalutin special dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act forbids it. Man, I hope we can shorten that.
Ah, I see now.
The only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new department at the yard. The Forensic Investigation Team is called. We've been relegated to keeping guard.
Forensic Investigation Team. Oh shit, sorry.
I think that was your line.
No.
Any old fool could see that this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can't do a flaming thing with it!
Poor Grixie. He's very het up, isn't he?
Unlike me.
What does that mean?
You know.
No, I do not.
Remind me.
Go on.
What's this new legal act? Someone chat too easy. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here? You love saying it.
Are you having me at it, Sunshine? It's a special dispensation. Did I say that right?
You got it, yes. Think
Got
of it like a dispensary, like dispensing something.
Okay.
Dispensation.
For some reason, this word is giving me in trouble. For Scientific Equipment Act.
Yes, I think Lily mentioned it.
I thought
That's
you
a
were
good
doing- I
dance.
thought you were doing a bit.
Now, I think Hurley mentioned that recently with a real twinkle in his eyes, I remember.
I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. Passed especially for this great exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or inventions to some suits in the civil service. And if it gets rubber stamped, that's a guarantee of rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality.
What does that really mean?
Think about it.
Let me guess. This guy didn't actually get his stamp, did he?
Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition.
We call it a patent.
Although a good half of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself.
Thanks for that.
Wow.
I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's all so fun.
It might be fun for you, but a member of the force has to present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine, eh? Hey, science, that's what I say. Ah, okay, Gregson, cool.
Gregson, like, make rock go bonga bonga.
I'm a Christian, man.
Jesus Christ.
In London? Probably not. Probably Protestant.
Whatever.
I don't believe in them there telephones.
Protestant is Christian.
Leave me alone.
You do think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shammers' bogus contraptions.
Jello.
No. Sorry, I'm eating plastic.
Hey, these are mine! Get your own!
If they're all bogus, how can anyone be hopeful to demonstrate that? Do you think you said Catholic? Yeah, I get Christian and Catholic swapped in my head a lot. Words that start with the same consonant. Uh-oh. If they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point.
Yeah, well, there is a point, sadly.
Sorry?
Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas. If any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant.
The scientists get funding.
Exactly, and that's what they're all after. All these shammers coming from far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep them all safe, eh? Who has to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who.
God, I hate serving and protecting.
Oh, just like eating. So, you can see why I say it now, can't you? Hang science, hang it.
Oh, maybe I can see your point.
No, Iris.
Good, I'm influencing the children.
You should check out my YouTube channel. Starts with gaming videos, then I tell you how everything's the women's fault.
I'm Ryunosuke. Apparently, Professor Hairbrain lives and works in Germany, now conducting his research.
That's right. Came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants.
Actually, we learnt something else about the professor earlier today, about his time and further education. Turns out he was at university with someone whom we both know, Lord Van Zeeks.
What's that? That's news to me. But Van Zeeks mans the prosecution, and as the accused, the professor's fate is...
Sealed, because the Reaper will get him one way or another.
Blimey, that man's beyond me. I don't know what goes on in his head. Talking of Van Zeeks, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that?
Oh, yes! But Mr. Reaper is completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Great.
Yes, right. Glad to hear it. Still, the Reaper, huh? How long's that business going to keep up, I wonder?
The victim of this case, the investor, Mr. Asman, was another one of the Reaper's victims. Or so I heard.
Lord Beric Van Zeeks is a top-class prosecutor. But even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win.
Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it?
Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zeeks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court.
Although the man himself denies that charge, yeah, obviously.
Well, we've done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached... is that Lord Van Zeeks is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside of the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'd stake my reputation on it, I would.
Since I'm the one killing all them people, because they all scientists, evil scientists.
I don't like it with numbers and facts and reason and usefulness.
We should all be God-fearing cavemen, we should.
But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't have just coincidentally died if nobody killed them.
I know that, but I can't explain it, like science. It's a mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper.
Oh, sorry, Professor Harebrained said something. He said that at university, Lord Van Zeeks was a totally different person. Easygoing and kind.
You what?
He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what that was?
No clue.
Really, because your sprite's looking down.
It's a terrible day for rain.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Look, I've got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, eh?
Get his ass, Iris.
I am very disappointed in you.
Oh, very sorry, your ladyship.
Yes.
Inspector, have you read this paper?
Yeah, 2-1 Welcome blasts back to back. This one at the exhibition and the Reaper getting attacked.
I know. Terrible news to wake up to, isn't it?
I tried to pretend I hadn't read it and turned over for another 40 winks. Thanks to that, I was laid up and got roasting like a roasting from the super.
Some mornings are like that, aren't they?
Hey, what the fuck is this?
Doubt it, but okay. Well, let's take
Crossbow looks like science to me.
Okay. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Harebrained was lucky to escape unscathed, I'd say. We should have a good look around this machine while we can, I think.
Touching anything, and I'll make sure I'll kill you before I get stronger myself, you hear?
I won't touch a thing. Jesus, I promise. So please, spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims?
Yeah, it exploded. Yes, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all the bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we?
Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Exactly! The annoying rules, obstructive flaming rules!
Oh, look at the base of the machine here.
Oh, yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
A.
Oh, it's an A.
It's a screwdriver, I think.
It's a clue!
Is that a bolt tip?
Oh, isn't it a lovely one? The handle is in the shape of a capital letter A.
It's gotta be Albert.
It is. Oh, yes, you're right.
What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything, I said! Touch anything, I'll make sure I'll kill you before I get strung up myself, I said!
Yes, I understand. Sorry, I only touched a teeny weeny bit.
For Christ's sake, I'm very curious about this screwdriver. Very, very curious.
Oh, of course, your ladyship. You're so clever, your ladyship. Fancy spotting something like that?
Fuck.
But I'm afraid I can't let you have it.
But Runa found it first.
I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly.
Disappears. He's gone
She's
off with it.
disassembled. That was very mean. I'm afraid Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next week's installment.
Poor Gregsy. Anyway,
The boxes!
there wasn't anything on them.
What?
There are all sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition Grounds, aren't there? Just look over there, you can see Russia. I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time.
Oh, in your country, you know? I do wish I could go and see it. I present a particularly steely samurai with with a present of one of Hurley's stories I'd written especially. And see if I couldn't get Hurley to do a jam against some Barretsu Master Ninjas.
You might not find many of those sorts of people around as you think.
Oh, well that's dull.
I read that as, oh, well that's a doll. Oh, but I do know a prosecutor with a Chronicles top knot I could introduce you to.
Chronicles? Really? Do you think I could have my picture taken with him? Do you?
Assuming he's recovered from the trim Kazuma gave him a year ago, yes.
He didn't, though.
Oh no, he certainly didn't. What is that gigantic thing over there? Looks like an enormous water wheel.
Oh, that's a Ferris wheel. There'll be people riding inside those little cabins you can see.
Why?
Well, they rotate nice and slowly, so it's a wonderful way to see the surrounding scenery.
Wait, it's turning, but it looks completely still. I have no vision.
What?
Oh, it is turning, actually.
Yes.
Yes, that's because it's turning so slowly. One complete revolution takes about half an hour.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that's how old Ferris wheels used to work. If you were mad enough to go in one, it would be more fun to whiz around fast, don't you think?
I feel as though you might have just invented a new sort of ride there, Bruno.
Oh, my god.
Whoa!
More balloons!
More balloons!
So those are people carrying balloons dangling silently in the skies over London. I always thought the day would come when humans would discover how to fly, but I never imagined it would involve them being suspended from colourful floating tamari handballs.
I'm sure it must feel amazing being up there among the clouds. Let's take a ride together, Bruno, please.
I'm sure someday one of those will land on a president of Zhengfa.
Oh, goodness.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I would like to try it, but without a cast iron guarantee that the thing won't plummet to the ground, I'm too scared.
Oh, well, in that case, I should tell you what Hurley said. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet to the ground as long as it doesn't explode.
Yes. Call me crazy, but I think that exploding part might play on my mind a little.
Okay, so it looks like we got like a snap in the chains there.
Yeah. That amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the Crystal Tower. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they're shot out of that thing to wherever they're going.
I don't think it was supposed to shoot anything, Bruno. It was set up to beam people to the Crystal Tower where they'd be reconstructed in their original form.
Well, I don't like the look of it. Science is dumb, Gregson is right. If it was as If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course.
I suppose that's true, yes.
But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? Said Jello.
No fan.
What about that little pipe thing? The little gauge coming off the...
I think all of this is one big item. I'm not allowed to interact with any of it.
Okay.
Yeah, seems that way.
Whoop.
Hello, we're back.
Look at him fucking standing there.
Mother, I have expulsed.
You've returned.
Yeah, what the fuck you want?
Who are you? It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Jaina in connection with a case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder.
I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realised I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out.
I'm so pleased to hear it, Ginny. Well done.
So, you went from being a Oh, that's you.
So, you went to being a pickpocket to a detective.
Yeah, that's it. You got it good, isn't it? Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh?
Throws a rock.
At my screen.
Yeah. Talk about a sea change.
And then there's Iris's old man to think about.
Iris's father, you mean? No, I'm talking about Hurley.
Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? Said I'd get all the police force around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him.
For some reason, I just pictured a fucking BuzzFeed Unsolved Ryan Bergara voice being like, and then Dr. What is it, Wilson? Dr. Wilson
Wowie
disappeared. Theory number 2, a zombie plague. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about?
Fuck up. That is nonsense.
Oh, just a small problem then, nothing serious. Oh.
Oh, Ginny, you're so sweet.
So anyway, that's how I came out to get the what?
How come I had to go?
Okay, that's how come I had to go at the test for Scotland Yard. Only trouble is, I didn't read so well, do I?
Just a small problem, nothing serious.
And that's when Hurley approached Galaxy and asked for help. So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Ginny and make her sort of apprentice.
Really? Why would he do that? That was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson. And brave.
Well, you know Hurley. He enjoys finding ways
Sorry.
to something. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words.
So long and short of it is, if you got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade.
Alright then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there? Why are you so annoying?
Oh, what do we know what?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet, here she is still.
Come on, you're not still on about that, are you? Legend of the Reaper, or whatever it's called. Cole, you don't have worry, are you?
If I didn't half worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left.
It's like I told you before, isn't it? The Reaper's kind of like him upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside. That ain't really done nothing wrong.
Squints at you. I wish I liked Gina more because, man, oh man, her design is such a critical hit, but nothing wrong might be stretching a point.
What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought.
Exactly! So I ain't worried! I'm totally fine! God, it was out of this world, it was. The smart fucker pulled a bunch of levers on his machine and suddenly it started billowing smoke.
Chat, her design is so cute. Too bad she runs with the pigs.
Yep. Then it just went pop! I ain't seen a better experiment here yet.
Did you dislike her even in the first game? Yeah, I didn't really care for her, to be honest. I found her a little annoying. Sorry?
You mean you saw it, Ginny? With your own eyes?
Yeah, of course. Boss is in charge here, ain't he? Of keeping everything running smooth, I mean.
The boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's going to take some getting used to.
So all I have to say is that I'm on duty and I can do whatever I want to. Get this, I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above.
Oh boy, I'm sure that at some point we definitely won't have to do an eyewitness testimony about that.
No, you're so lucky, Ginny. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too.
Yeah, do it.
Iris, no.
No.
Will, can you please give chat your rendition?
Iris, no.
So funny.
You know how to put the boss in his place already, right, Iris? You have no trouble at all.
Then it's settled. When do I start?
No, no, no! You can't join Scotland Yard, Iris.
We'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. If the machine exploded so spectacularly, how can... Oh, sorry, I'm getting a little parched. How can Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming that his experiment was a success?
Oh, right, well, it was a success in a way.
It was. How could it have been?
I mean, the guy ended up over there, didn't he?
I'm gonna pee. I've been holding it for like half an hour and there has not been a pause. So.
That's why I ran earlier.
Whoops. There's a screenshot for you.
Yay!
As a little treat? Beep boop beep boop beep
Booba,
boop.
booba, booba, booba. Booba, booba, booba. Wobble, wobble,
Booba.
wobble. Wobble, wobble, wobble.
Oh boy, oh boy. How you doing, chat? Happy Midsummer, everyone.
Wasn't that like 2 days ago?
I don't know.
I'm pretty
Someone
sure
said
it
it.
was 2 days ago.
Oh. Well, why not today?
Keep him out of here.
No! Da, 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 da. I've been shot. I've been shot twice. Bum.
Why is everyone British? Because it's in Britain.
Yeah. I'm coming back.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Hi.
Alright. Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success.
Ah, German.
It's like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a load of smoke and that whopping great bang. But where do you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the Crystal Tower, over there.
What? In the tower?
Yeah. You can see for yourself, can't you? Up there above the scaffold.
Oh, where all the glass is broken, you mean?
Yeah, cage what the victim got in to start with. Really did get beamed through the air or whatever, and it landed all the way over there. So, you see, it did kind of work, didn't it?
What? I don't believe it.
I mean, I don't get the ins and outs, but if anything's possible, right? With science? Oh, I tell you what, you can add this. It's a plain old, it's a plan of the experiment they drew up at the yard.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go on. I had 3 bob off you before, so fair's fair.
Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? A laser. A balloon. I don't like that. I don't like the implication. Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. I'm Inspector Gregson!
Yes, naughty old Grixie ran off after that without explaining himself.
Oh, right, that. Boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday.
But that's not fair. We're representing the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learnt from your investigations?
Nah, you're not getting it. We ain't allowed to investigate neither.
Why?
Well, the boss call him again, the forensic investigation team, I think. Anyway, apart from them lot, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, isn't it?
I hope they're dressed like crazy evil soldiers. Like
I
plague
have
doc-
seen them, I believe.
So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. Yes, I've never heard of something like that before.
I thought I could have a gander on the quiet, though, but the boss caught me at it.
You suck at being a thief, Gina.
You probably heard him giving me an earful about it before from down here, didn't you? It's not bleeding fair.
No, it's World's Fair. I think you were giving him as much of an earful back as I remember it.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all them chips what make him so stubborn. You say something to him, Odo. Go on, see if you can get through to him.
He's up on the platform above us, is he? Assuming I talked to you in the past. Yeah, they're just...
We can try, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's everything. Reno, listen.
What? What is it? What, Iris? Huh? What is it?
Bark, 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 bark. I'm thinking, Hurley might know something, mightn't he?
About what?
Oh, just things.
Oh.
About Mr. Reaper.
The little, like, clover design on the side of her gun looks like an analog gamepad.
Yeah, it's like a
button
boppet
set.
or something.
About what happened to Lord Van Zieks, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from the university. Something that completely changed his life. Excuse me. Maybe.
Handsome.
Yo.
Nope, keep going, go, pass it away.
Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he?
Here, this is what you need.
Some kind of entrance ticket? Madam Tuspels, is this supposed to mean something to me?
You don't know it? It's the most popular... It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment.
Oh boy, Chad is fucking excited for this character.
Oh my god.
It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go now, if you like.
No, we don't have time for visiting attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Hurley is.
What? At this popular London attraction?
Yes.
How is it that you know where he is?
Hurley told me, but he told me to keep it secret from you right now.
Madam Tuspels, I don't see
Cat
how...
says it's probably 2 spells.
I know, I'm not doing that on purpose.
Okay.
I don't see how it could be related to the case we're investigating here, but then stranger things have happened. And when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Alright. I believe this is the French girl.
Oh, goodness.
I've already laid my claim to an accented character.
Oh, mercy me.
Oh, it's a wax museum. Also, that was Sholmes in the chair.
Oh.
What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes. But why are the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight.
They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Reno? Shocked?
God, it must have been boring to be alive 100 years ago. Wax models! Ah! I read about dead bodies and wax once in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them
corpse wax
can turn into wax, apparently. It's called... I actually don't know this word at all. Adipocere?
I don't know.
Adipocer?
Like a dinosaur.
A dinosaur.
Stop talking about creepy things like that, Reno. You're scaring me.
Oh.
Anyway. What now?
I just remembered something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display.
None of the exhibits here are real.
But I'm a bitch, baby.
They're all entirely man-made replicas.
They can't be. Do you expect me to? Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them. There's no way anyone could make models of people that are this realistic. And they're all such gruesome scenes. I don't care. They're both Holmes.
Very funny.
Wait.
What is it?
Oh, no. I must be seeing things. There's so much. All right. Is this an arm?
It looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the waxwork models has fallen over.
You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murderers in here, do you?
Bruno, stop scaring me.
Is it a wax arm or a real one?
Come on, you're always pointing that finger of yours in court. Poke that arm now and see how it feels.
Objection!
Very cute.
That big heavy curtain is in a very prominent position, isn't it? I have a nasty feeling there's going to be something truly terrifying behind it.
Oh, yes! That's the famous, Tuspel special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee and have a look?
Pay more money? To be even more terrified? Ooh, let me think about that for a moment.
It was only a suggestion.
Oh my god, hold on. Is that's fucking Rolly's scarf, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
particularly of note.
Bonjour.
These models are so well made, I can't tell what's waxwork and what's a real human.
Or maybe all the exhibits are real people, and when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly stop moving about.
Just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already and I was on my way home. Alright.
Oh, that's a funny place for a little ladder. Joke! Joke.
Oh, that's what we're calling it. Is this an example of Western Sujigiri? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
You know, when an unscrupulous samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test his sword.
I still don't know. No. But actually, a waxwork samurai would probably be hugely popular. Could you model it, do you think, Bruno? Doing that Sutikiri thing you mentioned?
Well, I do have a sword, but I have no intention of testing how sharp it is on a human subject. For now, at least.
Oh.
Well, there's nothing else to investigate.
Goodbye.
Ah, this one looks a lot worse than all the others. Is this some infamous murderer?
Elizabeth Bathory! Oh, that's fucking stupid. Yes, called Jane Ripper. All her victims were young women.
I knew it. You can tell by the way she's... Oh man, you really figured this one out, you Ryunosuke. You can tell by the way she's holding that knife. Sure sign of a murderer.
Well, yes. What's the matter, Reno?
I've worked it out. I know what she's doing.
Oh my God.
She's murdering. She's trying to fill that bathtub with blood so she can have a soak in her victim's gore.
Not according to the information about the exhibit on the little board here. It doesn't mention anything about the bathtub.
Really?
Then why the fuck is it featured? Sorry, I don't think it's significant.
I still think it has to be there for a reason. All right. Fine. What if he was gone? Horror game.
Horror movie. And I would continue to sit here.
It's the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here. Really? God, it would be amazing if he really did, and the one in the chair was Herlock Sholmes.
Very funny.
Well, he is world famous after all.
It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? Makes my skin crawl to look at.
I know. But look, you can kick this hurtly, and he doesn't move a muscle.
You can't go around kicking the exhibit, Cyrus. Wait. It just moved. Wait, it just moved, I'm sure. And not just a little bit either.
Really? Did it?
And look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model.
Kick him again.
Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look, there's a great murder scene to enjoy, much more appealing. Ah, fuck.
How did my dear fellow I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner as if you'd seen something truly abhorrent?
Mr. Sholmes, I knew it.
Iris! What possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo!
Temporary waxwork? What do you mean?
And that kick! Could you not have exerted a little more restraint? You winded me!
But Nina has something he needs to ask you!
Ah! Question.
And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are.
Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that, and my great brain, upon which all my success has been built, would have turned to wax!
Thank goodness we arrived in time.
Indeed! In many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss.
I like that Runo I think he really gets along well with Iris, but kind of like high-key hates Sholmes and doesn't make any effort to hide it.
Oh, Hurley, you do like to talk nonsense, don't you?
He could know something, it's true, about Lord Van Zieks and what happened in the past to change him.
Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? For you're in luck. I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing.
Oh, well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry.
And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that is related to the matter about which you've come to me now.
But how could it be?
We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow, but for now, I must return to my work.
What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? Please tell me he doesn't respond to me. What is this place? Oh.
Madame Tuspels came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London.
But the
museum...
Nope, that one's me. But there are museums like this in Japan, too. But these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't actually made from real, actual people, actually, are they?
The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Tuspels family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxwork victims of the guillotine.
Ugh, that sounds grim.
The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expressions of the faces of the condemned.
Apparently, sculptors would make the models directly from the corpses right here at the site of the execution. Or right there.
Ooh, that really turns my stomach.
That's just one of several legends about the Tuspels family. Whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum by quite some margin is the House of Horrors.
House of Horrors?
Of course, visitor numbers are dwindling now as the result of the Great Exhibition. But people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals at their gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows. So they're even stiffer now than the models of them!
Have you ever heard of poor taste?
My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste! They yearn to be shocked.
It's true.
He's right. So, the hideous exhibits in here are...
They're all portrayals of real events that actually took place.
Is it just me, or did the temperature in here just seem to drop?
No, it's like that to keep the wax from melting.
Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here.
You see, my dear fellow, I myself moonlight here as a wax statue, as I am a wax golem, as all detectives are. Oh, look, he's back to being waxwork. What do you mean by a temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes?
Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibit here, catching these criminals in the act.
Catching them?
Every half an hour, I home in on some different killer in one of the displays and adopt a new pose to ensnare them.
That's actually kind of cute, to be honest.
When members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. For a shilling, I'll happily allow them to take a photograph with us.
Us?
I was like, this bastard.
Us? Does he mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Sholmes?
My dear fellow, isn't it obvious? For the money!
I'm poor as dicks!
He really... What? Actually, you could make quite a bit of money with dicks. He really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. He died.
As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent, and I have the ravenous Iris to consider.
Oh, honey, I'm so hungry.
This is just a bit they're doing to make Ryunosuke feel bad.
If push comes comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Mr. Naruhodo.
What's he threatening to rope me into now?
So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? As a special treat, you may have your pick of the murderers and scoundrels in here. The choice is yours.
Maybe some other time.
Remember, Mr. Naruhodo, ignore me at your peril.
This fucking lunatic. He's so charming and annoying. Back to being a waxwork again. Is it just me, or did this final remark there sound a lot like a curse? Something to ask you, idiot.
Well, what is it you want to ask? I think it's what I said.
Yeah, you pretty much got it. It's about Lord Van Zeeks.
Ah, dear friend Mr. Reaper. How did you find him? Well, I trust.
And then the lights went out. So, I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Zeeks such a different person.
I was sure that you'd know, Hurley.
You said there was something going on here with this exhibit hall before, that something was afoot, and that you believed it was related to what I wanted to ask you about. Mr. Sholmes? He suddenly clammed up.
Well.
Alright, let's take a look at her first. Greetings. Oh my god.
Oh.
Honestly, I feel like Yam.
I feel like Yam should take her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't think I can do French, but...
Yeah. Good luck. We wish you the best of luck, Yam.
Bon chance!
Oh, hello. Where did she appear from? And what's she wearing? Could she look any more mysterious?
I hope you are appreciating my museum.
Sorry, have we... She's just... Mr. Sholmes, do you know this? Not again.
My apologies. I am Esmeralda Tuspels. This is my museum of waxwork.
What? You're the Madame Tuspels?
Monsieur.
Bien
Though only
sûr.
20... What? Sorry. Oh, bien sûr. Though only 26 years young, I might add.
Is that significant somehow?
I am Madame in name only. It has a certain je ne sais quoi.
Right.
Oh, firstly, I must apologize for my waxwork and the little pause there. Or rather, one waxwork in particular.
Oh, sorry. Do. That will be Mr. Sholmes, then.
I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle.
Oh, she got a braid.
Next time you move from your designated exhibit, there will be toil and trouble.
She sounds deadly serious.
That is a problem. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zeeks now?
Let's not forget what Hurley said before. About something being afoot right here in the museum, I mean.
Yes, I know, but...
I'm so curious. I want to know what's happening here.
Haven't we got enough on our plate already? Pretty girl, Jello very weak to obscuring one eye. Basic bitch shit, but Jello likes it a lot.
No, I'm here for it too.
Who should take this character, pretty girl? I'm feeling Yam. I'm feeling Yam. Did you make all these waxworks, Madame Tuspels?
I did. I am the third generation of waxwork artisans, you know.
Gosh.
It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution, she did. Though this is when she acquired this savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing lifelikeliness.
All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley.
I'm a zombie!
That might be the opium and...
Someone in chat, I'm 1/16th waxwork artist on my grandmother's side.
What you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of the real people in which they are modeled. In the hours immediately following their executions. That is the secret to the extraordinary lifelikeness.
That sounds terrifying.
All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see.
Why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying?
Do not fear.
I want to see her 2D art. Pretty. She looks
a little wink.
Wink. She looks a lot like the like Susie from
Oh
Little
yeah, a
Witch
little bit.
Academia in that picture. Okay.
Hmm.
Sorry?
This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you'll explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians. Something for every taste, I hope.
It was Iris who dragged me straight in here, come to think of it. Oh, straight in here, come to think of it.
Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things.
What's the situation with that?
Oh, my temporary waxwork model. He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal.
Oh, what sort of proposal?
My dear madam, what these sparse exhibits need is an edition of a world-famous great detective!
I told him no. I don't know why he's still here.
Oh, words to that effect. Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective.
It's great detective, actually. He's very specific about it.
Yes, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms.
Let me guess. Someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services? $1 million!
Give me a £500! I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment! Or words to that effect.
Mr. Sholmes might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch.
Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances. So we came to the current arrangement instead.
Surely he doesn't really need to do what he's doing, though, does he?
I would think not, but he was very insistent. I have a 50-shilling problem that must be resolved by the morning!
What an insane first thought of a way to raise money.
Or words to that effect.
It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem.
Is the consulting detective work not going so well? Alright, there's something afoot! I wonder, could I ask you something?
Yes, sir.
I'm just curious, is anything going on in the Wax Museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps?
Well, I just murdered a man.
Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
Oh, well, it was your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little... Oh, okay. Oh! He's disappeared. I think that's probably you.
A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade.
Ah. There you
Sorry,
are.
it was me!
I lied!
Leaving the exhibit again when you should be working. Do you wish to be melted down? My dear Madam Twisple, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police. Why ever not?
She's turned as white as a sheet.
Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. But please be aware that I prefer, no, I insist upon payment in advance.
This fucker.
Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we? Before I engage in my analytical processes, I must ask you to clarify something.
Oh, dude, the cop there is dead, isn't he?
What, pray, is behind the curtain? That is the special exhibit. There's an extra charge to see it. Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. It must depict a special killer then, I presume. Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder? Absolument non. There is nothing amiss behind there. Nothing amiss, madame. 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 What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond before the situation worsens. Yes, very well. I will draw back the curtains, but only a soupçon.
Only a soup con.
Yo, SoupCon, here we go.
SoupCon 2022, baby!
Woo! Bisque!
Yo, I hear they got Giovanni Patage showing up this year.
I must confess I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The special exhibit is very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however?
Hey, that was one of the jurors, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah. Is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor?
I don't know. It looks like him, but I don't remember him having a beard that shape. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Sorry. No, that one's me. You're right.
Sorry, that's...
Well, then, perhaps, Mr. Sholmes. That man on the floor is the ruthless killer himself. Die! Oh, juror number one from the very first. Okay, got it.
I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman. Not even a waxwork, in fact.
What?
As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from real humans. So allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in this special exhibit. What? Why would you say that? And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime.
She looks as pale as candle wax. They made a wax figure of Piff and blew him up.
I don't understand. So, Madame Tuscles, as you've agreed to my fee, you'll not have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work.
To be honest, I've been looking for a stopping point.
Oh.
And if we're about to do a correction course, or course correction, then I'm just gonna call it before that happens, so.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep, alright.
All
Good
right.
call. Thank you guys for, I'm just gonna stop him on his first line of dialogue, though. I hope we get to see more of this girl's model. Okay, great. Yeah, yeah, that's enough. Well, since Piff died, let's send you guys over to Piff so you can pay your respects. Raid Piffo.
How kind.
I'm waiting for the raid to activate. 3 more seconds and okay, here we go.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Whoop.